Snarl, this is Grimlock. Sludge, Swoop, and I are creating a distraction in front of Shockwave's tower. The forces are all being thrown at us. Break through what defenses are left on your side and find Slug.
Fine. Send me off on my own? Fine. I don't need anyone else. I don't like anyone else. Grimlock could have at least given me the job of being the distraction. I don't want to have to find that overheated jerk Slug. That sounds too complicated. Just give me a con to fight. Give me 5 cons. No, make it 50. More! Haha! Give me more enemies to fight. Yes! Now my spark knows joy.
Alright, hi guys, Brian here, and today I'm going to be giving you my impressions of Planet X's Summanus, which is their Dinobot Snarl. So to quickly look at the box, hey, it's got a picture of his chest, more stuff, cool artwork, blah. Okay, there goes the box. Alright, so here he is in Dino mode, and as you might have noticed, these plates are just wobbly as hell. I have no way of really locking these guys, so I just have to deal with it, I guess. He looks pretty good in Dino mode. I quite like it. I love that they went with the translucent plates. That was like one of the big issues that I was like, oh, they really need to do it. However, I psyched myself up about these plates, about something that I had a really great idea, but really didn't expect to happen, and they didn't, so I'm sad. I would have loved it if each of these little plates could become a hand axe, because this has just been like obsessive amounts of hand axes, and that would have been awesome to me. On the other side, this plate is his chest plate, well, more like abdomen plate, and is a pain in the ass to get in this location. Or, maybe not pain in the ass, but it's difficult to get into this location, so I'm not a huge fan of this guy. Hey, his tail isn't completely together. There we go. For articulation, oh yeah, repro label as always on the head. For articulation, his head can go up and down a bit. His mouth can open, and his rather sharp teeth actually can open quite wide. His dino arms. These things are part of his knee guard, and they do not lock in at all, so they are going to be constantly like moving around. His dino legs. This guy has full range of movement. It's got lots of cool movement on the elbow, and the toe can move, so this leg is really cool. I dig this leg a lot. This one, which will become a robot mode arm, has some slight backwards movement, nothing forward, and his foot does basically that, so his back legs don't have exactly extreme amounts of movement, and that is it for his articulation. I mean, you can get him into some kind of cool poses, like rah. Yeah, I'm a child. So he's got some cool poses that he can do, but nothing like major. Like especially if you want to try to swipe with his tail action, you're not going to really be able to do it. He's just too low to the ground, and in fact, in your intro video, you guys might have noticed that I decided to try to imply that he was smashing someone with his tail, and it didn't really work all that well. But let's go ahead and bring in, for size comparison, his companions. And here is Summanus with his fellow Dinobots. And these guys look good together. I get a kick out of it. I have 4 robotic dinosaurs. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That is just awesome. And I still think he looks fine with it. But they have announced that they're making their own Grimlock, which is going to be named Vulcan. And I'm okay with that too, because this isn't an amazing... Grimlock isn't an amazing figure, but I'm okay with it. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Planet X is going to do, because the rest of these guys are awesome. Now all I need is my Triceratops, and he has to come last because they did the order wrong. I like my Triceratops. I want my Triceratops. Anyway, these guys look good together. I am super pleased with the way these guys are shaping up. I have 4 robotic dinosaurs, and I could not be happier. And for some other size comparisons, let's pull in Combinors, Motor Master, who I happen to have hand. Let's throw in Chromia, because that's rather small compared to these guys. Wow, that's actually, I haven't done that. That's really small compared to, wow. Okay then. I've also got Skydive here, and that's basically all I've got for regular size comparisons, and he's significantly bigger. He's the size of a Voyager-ish. Yeah, they are, he is big. That's a big Stegosaurus. But for a size comparison with some video game figures, there's War for Cybertron Optimus, because he's still the best Optimus, and Shockwave. So yeah, still significantly bigger than these guys. I like the scale. It looks good to me. It makes these guys look rather big and powerful, to be honest. Now, for his transformation, there's some parts that kind of concern me. Like, it's kind of notorious that clear plastic tends to be brittle. And this tail section is... This section of the tail is literally just clear plastic painted. So I'm concerned about this. This section of the plates is, well, here, let me show you. Bam. Alright, this section of the plates is the same thing. It's clear plastic painted gold, and so I'm concerned about that. And I'm also concerned about how difficult it is to get this this admin plate in the proper position. So yeah, I've got some minor issues with it, but it's not horrible transformation. But that's basically my thoughts on the transformation. So let's go ahead and get this guy into robot mode. Do. And here we have him in robot mode with his Dinobot companions, and I like the scale. This is cool that Grimlock is still tall. Sludge is slightly taller, Snarl slightly shorter than Grimlock, and then you got Swoop, who's smaller. I suspect Slug is going to be about the same height as this guy, so I think I'd be okay if Slug was honestly in between his height and his height, Swoop and Snarl. And yes, I have to still remind myself which names are which. I'd be okay if Slug was about this tall, but he's probably going to be about this tall as well. So let's pull these guys away. And for more size comparisons, again, we've got Motormaster, we've got Chromia, we've got Skydive, something like that. Yeah, Skydive. So, you can see he's a Voyager sized. He is a big boy. He is nice and tall. He's beefy. I like it. He seems like he is a powerhouse on his own, even without his team. And that's cool. Man down! Butt down! We'll get to your articulated hips in a moment, sir. And for other game comparisons, Shockwave and Optimus. And that's... I like this height. I like this height. I like this. This is good. I am happy with this figure. Alright, but now for meat and potatoes. For the meat and potatoes of the impressions, let's get down to talking about the figure itself. And here's his head sculpt, which I kind of dig. He's got some nice light piping on him, and it's a nice sculpt. The articulation on the head, though, is a little it's difficult to move his head, and he doesn't have an amazing amount of range. He's got left and right, but no real up and down, but kind of. And his chest piece kind of comes unpegged like that. Again, repro label. So it's a bit limited in the jointing. His arm. Oh, actually, before I move on, these plates are actually, I think, supposed to be up here, but I can't ever get this stuff to lock in super securely. And I also kind of think that looks a little bit silly, so I physically push these aside a little bit and slide them down in a way that you're not really supposed to. So I'm concerned about this because this is a piece of gold, transparent plastic that is painted gold, and so I'm slightly concerned about the fact that I'm bending this out. But it locks this whole backpack assembly pretty securely. These wings are secure now. And I think it looks better. It defines his profile a little bit better. I just like the way this looks better. but I'm slightly concerned. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that as things go on. And honestly, I don't know what I'd do if they broke. Maybe I should rethink my theory on this. Anyway, his arm has a joint that lets him go out, just like kind of Grimlock does. I really wish this was a ball joint, though, because it doesn't really... It just isn't a completely natural movement, but it can rotate on this joint like this. And so you can get basically what you need, but it's just slightly awkward. And if it was a ball joint, it'd work a little bit better, I think. He's got a elbow swivel and an elbow, obviously. Well, maybe not obviously, but not an amazing amount of articulation on the arms. Just the way things are, you can kind of fight with it to get it where you want it, but it's a bit difficult. He's got a hip. He's got thighs and can go. I'll show you his range. Wham! That is a good kicking range. He can go forward and backwards pretty well. His knee is double jointed for transformation, so you can do whatever the hell you want with his knee. And I absolutely love this. The entire bottom half of the dino leg foot becomes his whole foot. Or dino mode leg becomes his whole foot. And goddamn, that's cool. That is a fantastic, ingenious way to make a foot. The only hindrance is that it doesn't really give him a particularly good heel spur, so he could kind of have used it. And also his hips are rather loose, so they I have to fight with him to get him to pose. Going out like these, going out like these is fine, but going forward and backwards, if I can drop the Russian, is a bit annoying. Like, he will just do that. Theoretically, I could fix that with some floor polish, but I have to pull it apart and see specifically where the problem is, but that's not a difficult thing to do. So his articulation is pretty awesome, but not amazing. So I suppose I should say it's not pretty awesome. It's good. It's very good, but not awesome. As far as what he comes with, which you guys have probably already seen in the intro video, he's got a pair of shotguns, which are from War for Cybertron, and you might have noticed that I underslung them because I know in the game this part, the part. Oh, I'm silly. The reloading part was on the bottom of the barrel, and basically this is how it looked like from underneath. So I was like, I'm gonna underslung this, but most people are probably gonna see he falls over a lot. So that kind of sucks. Stay. Oh, and is everything... Like, there is one thing here. Like, there's this post right here. And there's a hole, or a port. You probably aren't going to be able to see, but trust me, on this piece right here, at the far end, there's a port that it looks like that's supposed to be going in, but I just cannot get it to line up. It just does not go that far down. So I don't know what's going on with that. So that's why, another reason why I like doing that, to kind of lock that block back together. There. And this peg to hold the black piece does not stay in well at all. That comes apart at the drop of a hat. I really need to tighten up your hips. So anyway, most people are probably going to put these guns in right side up like that. And I drop it. Jeez, oh Pete, I'm just having a bad day apparently. Most people are going to put these in top down, even though I think in the game they were bottom up. In fact, I've got a Shapeways version of this gun in significantly smaller that I don't have on hand, and I have it underslung. So, those are the guns he comes with. He also comes with a pair of swords that are actually really cool looking. So that's awesome. I love these swords. I like that they started doing the translucent orange. A lot of people gave Kalis flack for his solid swords. I still don't mind them. And one other thing he came with was the collector's card, which I don't ever really pay attention to. So, hey, there's the stats for that. Nice artwork, but that's about that. Alright, so basically that is my... I don't think I mentioned the thigh swallow. And because of the foot, he does have quite a range of motion on the foot. So yeah, I think that's basically my opinion on the figure. He's rather imposing and can get some cool poses and looks awesome when you can get him into a good pose. So he's a bit fiddly and a bit annoying, but like he's just a good figure to have. I like him a lot, and especially since I have his teammates, and it's just a really nice looking group together, and just it makes me so glad that one of the benefits of Slug being last is that basically each of these figures is getting better and better with each release. And so that makes me really happy that Slug is going to be like amazing when he comes out. Oh, I was actually really expecting this guy to have the pull the shoulders out, slide them down, and push them back again together. And I was really surprised when they didn't have that. Instead, he had the Kalus's, not Kalus, he had the Neptune's thing where the chest opens up. So you can hold the Matrix of Leadership. But that was kind of cool. But even though I don't know. I like that this opens, but I don't really love how it gets to where it needs to go for Dino mode. Anyway, final thoughts is I like this guy. He is cool, and I like him, and I'm glad to have him, and I cannot wait for Slug to come out, because Slug is the one I've been waiting for since Kalus was announced. So I'm curious to know what you guys think of him. How does he look to you? What do you guys think of the intro? I'm curious, actually really curious, what you guys think of the green screen that I'm using. Hopefully I didn't have too many technical issues when I was editing this, so I'm hoping it looks pretty good, but I am really curious. Give me your opinion on the green screen. Should I stop doing that? I don't know. I'm really curious what you guys think about that. What do you guys think of the Dinobots in general? I want to know your opinion on these guys. See ya!